Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel for another video this week. I am going to get my makeup done again. My eyebrows are actually out of control since I laminated them. But anyway, welcome back to my YouTube channel and I hope you enjoyed this video. Today we are going to go to the Nars makeup counter to get my makeup done because there's a few things in that brand that I wanted to try ready for my wedding. One being the soft matte concealer. I use the long wear concealer and I absolutely love it, but I just wanted to try that concealer to see if the consistency is different and also if the final kind of finish on my skin is different. And I also wanted to see the Shea Glow foundation on my skin, just to see what it looks like because my wedding's in the spring. So I think for the pre-wedding, I want something with coverage, but a little bit light and a little bit dewy. So we're gonna go and have a look. So come with me to get my makeup done. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and do not forget to share my videos to everyone you know. And let's get started. So after she cleansed my face when I arrived, she asked me to prep my skin. They didn't have any prep product, so she used the Chanel product to prep my skin. And she's just prepping my eyelids ready for the eyeshadow and making sure it's all clean and nice.
Use the caramel.
Okay.
Because it blends in nice with the skin.
Yeah.
And then I also use the custard concealer just to highlight the brow.
Yeah, that's the one I use in the colour in the other concealer as well. So all the colours are the same across every, so like all the foundations
so
are the same colours and then like, okay, that's quite good.
Yeah, so it's quite good, so if you know you're Barcelona in one, you'll be Barcelona throughout.
Yeah, okay. I feel like, you know, with the glitter, if we do glitter eyes, I think like we could do like maybe like a pop of colour on the eyes rather than like the neutral.
Personally, I would agree.
Yeah.
I don't know how creative and bold it is.
I just feel like I never go colour, so I would like a pop of colour. I don't know whether it's like purple or whatever.
I would go with the green.
Oh, would you? Okay, yeah. What she did here is just take the top two left-hand shades and she was using those kind of as the blending shades and she was just putting that all over my crease and kind of across my eyelid, and that was just going to help blend and kind of bring all the colours together and also to kind of set the contour that she used on my eyelids as well. So after setting my eyelids, she then went in with the high pigment long wear eye pencil in the shade Night Porter. This is basically kind of like a black or a dark grey, and she did this all over my eyelid. So she used the whole pencil all over my eyelid and it was really rough. There was no like neatness to it. It was just smudging it all across my eyelid. She does go in with a brush after to kind of smudge it and set it, but this is what she was doing. The benefit of these crayons is they are so soft. I didn't feel like I was getting poked in the eye. Even when she sharpened it, it was really soft and like kind of creamy. And as you can see here, she's just using the brush to blend it out, smudge it out and smudge it up into my eyelid. After she had smudged the black crayon in, she went in with the green shade, which was the bottom right hand corner of the palette. And it was really light kind of texture. There was not too much product on there. She was just dabbing it in. She then went in, and this is where the trick that she used comes in. She took not the translucent powder, I think it was the powder in shade Desert Sand. She picked up a little bit of that product on a really fluffy brush and she shook the excess off. She then went in across my crease after she had put the green in and used that to blend the green out. Honestly, this is something I've never seen before, but it worked so well with the dark colours. Are you blending out using translucent powder?
That's Nars way of doing something.
Oh, is it?
You literally colour on with your eye crayon, it doesn't matter if the lines and everything, you kind of smudge it out.
Yeah.
You pack your powder.
Yeah.
You use translucent to soften it. Powder, translucent, until you get a really nice airbrush finish.
I've never
And
seen
this
that.
is just one layer.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
So that's the Nars way of doing it. And you can be really quite messy with it.
Yeah.
Once you start blending it out using the powder,
Yeah.
it like blends in really nicely in airbrush. And it gives it a really smooth finish.
Okay, so I just moved the camera over for a better shot. So here you can see she's applying the green shade all over my eyelid, and there's no real neatness to it. She's just applying it and patting it on. And then here she's going in with the powder on a big blending brush, and she's literally just sweeping it across my crease to smooth everything out.
And you keep going until you're happy with it.
Yeah, like I've never seen it, but I really like how it's blending together.
Yeah, really, and it looks really difficult, but actually when you look at it at the end,
yeah,
it looks like you've put so much
because of the blending. Yeah,
really easiest way to do is make your eye.
So would you say always go in with the crayon first though?
Yes.
Like, or like the pencil first?
And ours in particular are for that.
Okay.
So they're perfect for a smoked eye because they're really creamy and soft.
Yeah.
And once you warm them up, they kind of become not a liquid texture, but more of a creamy eyeshadow texture.
Yeah.
But they dry really quick, so you've got to work quite quick with them.
Okay. So here she's going in with the third layer of green, and this really kind of just made them pop even more. I think in this light of the store, the green did look really like kind of dark and grungy, but when I came home it wasn't as dark, and you'll see at the end of the video the final look of what this colour looks like. So she does go in with eyeliner later, but to kind of line out my eye, she uses a dark kind of grey black eyeshadow and uses that kind of a flat brush just to smoke out the lash line, and that kind of just sets it up for the liner. But in my opinion, this didn't make such a great difference, but I thought it was quite a good technique just to kind of neaten up the line. So now my eyes are as finished as they could be here. She was going to do my face and the base of my makeup. So she went in with concealer first, which in my opinion, I just doesn't feel it gives the best coverage on my skin. So even though she went in with the matte one, I thought there would be a lot more coverage than it is. Should you apply concealer first?
Yeah. Just because I just want to see if I need to correct.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask
But
you.
I think
Colour
that's
correct.
fine. I don't think you need to colour correct.
Okay. So yeah, in my opinion, I feel like I could have done with more coverage under my eyes. I think even as she's putting this concealer on under my eyes, you cannot see that much of a difference.
Biscuit.
So I use a biscuit or custard, but like highlighting shade, not
Concealer shade.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say you'd definitely be a caramel. A biscuit is a little bit ashy, and because your under eye area is slightly darker,
Yeah.
you don't want it to start looking grey.
Okay.
Start looking grey.
Okay. So like caramel for colour and then custard for lightening.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so she's now using the same crayon that she used Night Porter to line my under eyes, and I think this is what made my eyes look a little bit darker. I think I wouldn't have minded dark under my eyes if I had way more coverage, but because the coverage wasn't there for my under eyes and my bags, this felt a little bit dark for me. The good thing is she does warm all the products up on the back of her hand first, so they glided on really, really smoothly. I just feel a little bit too dark for me. She then goes in with a Desert Sand face powder just to kind of smudge it all out, and then she takes the darker green shade that she used on my eyelids just to kind of tie the whole eye look together underneath my eyes, but without putting too many layers underneath my eyes.
It is a bit uncomfortable, I'm so sorry.
So because I'm like aware someone's coming towards my eye. So here she's just taking a little bit more of the Desert Sand powder and just basically tying all my eyes in together and smudging it all out without adding any extra colour or any extra dimension to the actual eye look. Now she is just taking the khaki glitter colour, which is the centre eyeshadow in the same palette, and she's applying that to the top of my lids, and this basically is just giving it the glitter kind of glitz glimmer look that we looked for. Again, in this light the green doesn't look as dominant. At home in my light you can see the green a little bit more. It does look darker and kind of grey in this store light here. Okay, so now she is going in with the liquid eyeliner pen. This went on like a dream. I felt like if I was doing it myself, it would be really easy to do. The pen is a really fine point. I absolutely love it. We agreed not to do a wing because the eyes are so dominant anyway. So we just went with a fine line of eyeliner across the lash line at the top, just to kind of tie everything in together and make it kind of an evening look with a little bit of eyeliner. After my eyeliner, she went in with mascara. She used the Extreme Climax one, which I never thought of using, and it is a lot more fuller on my eyelashes. I got a really nice curl on them, so I did really like this, and it was a really smooth and easy process. The formula was great on my eyelashes. Okay, so her next step was to prime my face before applying the foundation. She didn't have a primer, so she used the Chanel one, which I absolutely love. What's this one called?
I don't know, it's the one in the glass jar.
Yeah, I feel like I use this one of those. I recognise the smell.
Look that way for me.
One of the reasons I asked is because I did recognise the smell and I knew it was Chanel in my head, but I just wondered if they had their own primer, but I didn't really find that out. So I'm not sure if they do their primers, but anyway, we went with the Chanel, and then we went in with the foundation. She actually used the shade Valencia for me this time. I normally use Barcelona, but I do think that this one suited me. However, in some lights it did look a little bit orange, so I feel like I'm a little bit torn on what shade I am, whether I should mix them both together or kind of just see when I have a tan. At the moment, Barcelona works for me, and I think I'm gonna kind of stick to that one. So in terms of the foundation, I use this foundation. I love this foundation. She used very little product of everything. It was a very light touches, very light consistency. So she would always put the product on her hand to warm the product up. So obviously a little bit of product went a long way. However, I did feel like the coverage could have been a little bit more. If I was actually going to a party, I definitely feel like my coverage was not up to a scratch of what I like. So I would definitely have gone in with a little bit more, but the way she kind of did it and warmed up the product, it felt really nice on the skin. This brush was absolutely amazing, but it wasn't a Nars brush, and it didn't have a label on, so we didn't know what it was. However, I've not actually felt a foundation brush like this on my face, so I definitely am looking for new foundation brushes. So if you have any that you love, let me know in the comments.
This concealer is quite matte. You don't really need to set it or anything. It kind of stays where it is. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so Ashley just said she went in with concealer again. I still did not feel like the coverage was where I wanted it to be. I feel like my bags, or kind of my under eyes, still kind of showed through a little bit, and I would like to a little bit more. Again, as you can hear, she did not set the concealer because it didn't need setting on my face. However, if you wait till the end of the video, I'll give my final review on that as well. After foundation, we wanted to carve out my face a little bit more, so we did go in with a contour. However, she did just use, I think, about maybe 3 or 4 shades darker than me. She warmed that up on the back of her hand as well, and kind of just pushed that into my forehead and across my cheekbones. I think you can kind of see some shape on my cheekbones, but again, not a lot of dominance. If you do want a kind of full glam look, I feel like this probably isn't the one, because everything was really simple, really light. Even though the eyes were a lot, the amount of product and kind of the coverage wasn't a full coverage look. However, it did feel really nice, and it did the job. It did carve out my skin. It did give me a little bit more of a shape, but it was really subtle at the same time. You can see while she's applying it, she's continuing to use stippling motion and push the product up and kind of up to the center of my face. And that's kind of how I do my contour as well. I never drag it down, I push it up to my face. I feel like I would have liked a little bit more nose contour. I think the nose contour was a little bit too subtle for me. I definitely wanted to make it a little bit more dominant, just because the look itself is so glam. I just felt like the contour could have been a little bit more to kind of be a little bit more full coverage on the glam side. Okay, so now she is going in with the liquid blush. She's using the shade Torrid. I've never used this shade, but I did like how it came up on my skin. A lot of the Nars liquid blushes are that pink shade as well, so I think if you don't like the pink, it's not as suited to your skin. What she was doing is she was taking a blob of this in her hand and then basically using it to brush it out so that the product wouldn't get picked up too much on my skin. Do you always warm it up in your hands first with this liquid one?
That way you can control it more.
Yeah, because do you know, I do it on a palette, and I'm like, sometimes it's still too, like, the shade's too much. Yeah.
On your hand is always better because the warmth it has already melts it in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
She's now just going in with the mascara again and just applying it to the bottom lashes, because we didn't do that before, and it kind of just helped pull the look together, in my opinion. So kind of after just tidying up the rest of my face, she went in with my eyebrows. She used the spoolie to kind of shape out my brows of what shape she wanted and to tame the unwanted hairs down. She then went in with a clear brow gel from the Benefit Brow collection, and she went in with the Pomade in dark brown, I think, just to kind of shape my eyebrows a little bit more. I actually really like the way she did my eyebrows. She did ask me whether I wanted them fluffy or tame, and I said I like a bit of both. Obviously I told her I had done a brow lamination, which kind of made my eyebrows a little bit out of control, and I really like the way she did them. I feel like they were really smooth, really nice, but still like a lot of shape, so I did enjoy that, and that was probably my favorite thing about this look, the eyebrows. After my eyebrows, she then went in to do my lips. We went with a liquid lipstick first, and then a lipstick in the center of my lips to kind of tie it all together, and I absolutely loved my lips. Like, it was one of my favorite things as well. It just went on really nice. The product itself is super creamy and super nice. The shades were good. There's a good shade range. However, I wanted to buy a couple and they just didn't have them in stock, but for what she did on my own lips, I really loved it. What do you guys think? Do you like this shade, or do I need to move away from nude? Okay, so if you were wondering, the lipstick was in shade Raquel and the liquid lipstick was in the shade Just What I Need, which I actually did purchase because I was obsessed. She set my face with a Bobbi Brown setting spray to tie up the look, and this was the final look that we got. Okay, so this is the final look, and it's very grungy, but I love the khaki. I actually did buy the palette with the greens on because I'm actually really obsessed with it. Like, I never really wear greens, but I do think it's really nice. Like, it's like a nice pop of colour because it like pops, makes my eyes pop. I do think the under eyes are a little bit dark. I think I would have gone in with slightly more coverage. However, I don't hate it. I think that this on my skin, it was really nice. The only issue is there was quite a few products that I wanted to buy that she used, but the stock was just so bad that was like nothing. So the lips, I wore a mask, can you see? So it's smudged. But the lips I am obsessed with. So I've obviously tagged everything down below in the drop bar, but the lips for me, it's like nude with a hint of pink, and I love that because I never really wear pink. I feel like I'm a little bit shiny. She didn't have setting spray, so she used the Bobbi Brown setting spray, and I feel like it was just too shiny for me. And you can see like I'm really shiny here and kind of here. So I don't know if I like that as much. But in terms of the overall look, I do like it. I think the process, she didn't talk through the products a lot. I feel like I was prompting her to kind of be like, what's this for? What do you do this for? What do you do this for? So in terms of that kind of customer service side of it, I was a bit like, oh, I wish she'd like talk through the products a bit more. And if you see my Charlotte Tilbury one, which I will put here, she was so good at explaining products like skin types and what works, and I didn't really get that today. I felt like it was like purely you're going in, get your makeup done, and then coming back. One other thing, the trick that she used to do eyeshadow, why have I never heard of it? It was so good that I want to do it on myself just to see if it works. And basically she said you can do this with any smoky eye, whether it's like green, dark, grey, black, whatever. And you go in with like a crayon or whatever first, pat the powder product eyeshadow on top, and then you go in with like a translucent powder or like your colour loose powder, get rid of all the excess, and basically use that to blend, and it smudges it all together, so you get like this really nice grungy smoky look without it looking like you've got so much product. I just want to bring you into the eye because I am loving. So I've got like fallout here from the makeup, but she used the soft matte concealer when actually she used it, and in store I was a little bit like, I don't know if I like it. She said you don't need to set it because it's quite matte. However, I feel like without setting it, I've got a lot of fallout and kind of breakages, like separation from the skin. So I definitely feel like I would still set it, but probably with like my airbrush flawless powder rather than like a loose powder and bake. I wouldn't bake it, I would just set it really nicely. But the eyes, I am obsessed. I love them. And I think with eyelashes, this would just pop really nicely. And she used the Extreme Climax mascara, which I actually do really like. I've never really thought about getting the Extreme, but I feel like it's got a really good curl and kind of lift to it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this look. Do you like the green? Because I think I really like the green. And let me know in the comments as well what other counters you want me to try, and if they have products that I am willing to try and want to try and like are passionate about, I will go and try that counter. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and share my video, and I hope to see you on next week's video.